Be honest, are you somebody that fully finishes every single project you start? Because I know I'm really guilty of getting like 90 something percent through a project and not quite finishing it. So today we're gonna start going around my house and finishing up random organizing projects, which I think will be really fun because you can see a bunch of different spaces and help me put the final touches on things. There's gonna be a lot of labels and drawer organizers and other things that we're just going to tidy up and get it to that perfection level. I'm gonna go through my house room by room and see how much we can do. So I'm gonna start in the laundry room here. And I have this drawer organizer that I bought and it slides around a little bit. It's nice because it's expandable. It comes in a few different colors and it fits my drawer really nicely, but it still does move just a little bit. So I'm going to use some museum gel, which is my favorite hack to help get drawer organizers to stay in place. It doesn't take long, but I needed to take that extra little step. And then I also had a drawer organizer on the drawer to the left that could use some museum gel as well. Next up, I needed to do some rearranging of the bins that I have here with all of my cleaning products as well as my Lazy Susans. I had one Lazy Susan that was empty, and then some of these bins are absolutely overflowing, and I feel like they just weren't all categorized quite correctly, or maybe my cleaning items have shifted around a little bit. So some bins were too small for the amount of items, and then other ones were a little bit too big. So I'm going to do some rearranging of that stuff and try and make it work a little bit better. I decided one of the Lazy Susans I was going to do for essential oils, and the other one I was going to get some of my sponges out and use for more cleaning tools. And you'll see I'm thinking through how I want to move things around here, trying to fit everything as best I can, as well as trying to consolidate and maybe get rid of a few cleaners if I possibly can, because I know I do have some duplicates or things that, like I said, I can just consolidate. I do have one bin labeled back stock, so anything that's overflow in some of the other bins that don't fit, I can put it in that generic title of back stock. And I think I'm actually making a second back stock bin, so I will have even more space. It seems to be the bathroom cleaners that I have a lot of, just because I got a bunch of bathroom cleaners sent to me. So I'm gonna need to make an extra label for that bin in just a little bit. Now over to my bottle station, everything that I use for feeding our baby milk and breastfeeding and all of that stuff. I redid this cabinet. I can't remember. I think it was right after he was born, right before he was born. I don't know. But what I did was I added new labels. I got a couple new bins, but I had old labels still on the organizers, and I just flipped them around and put new labels on them and never took the time to peel off the old labels. So now I need to take a second and peel off the old ones. And then after I finished that, which took a little moment, all of the vinyl labels I can peel off. I call them semi-permanent because you can stick them through the dishwasher usually and they stay on pretty well, but you can also get your nail under there or get a little tool under there and peel them off if you do want to. So with my label maker, I printed off some labels for backstock, just put that on, and then into the closet that we have in our laundry room, there are sheet organizers, which I'm absolutely in love with. I really, really like them, and I purchased these on my own, and then the company actually sent me a pack of the same ones. So I added a few more and needed to add another label there. So I did that, and then I reorganized cleaning tools when I was doing the sophisticated declutter of this space, but didn't quite finish reorganizing the exact way I wanted to. And I have these leftover cleaning tools, and I had a couple of extra bins, so I'm going to try and see if I can fit them in there. I decided to add an extra hook for this attachment for our long extending duster just because I wanted that off the floor. It didn't fit in the other bins. And then those white bins that were empty are filled with the extra cleaning tools. So I need to update the labels there now that they're full with things. And I just printed these off of my Cricut. I'm using some transfer tape and putting them onto the label clips that I already had for these bins when I was using them for other things previously. Now we're into the boys' bathroom, and this is another space that I recently reorganized and got all of these bins, which I think are working really well for us. I just wanted to see if I could use some other organizers that I already owned to organize within the bins. We had bath bombs and bath toys that were just kind of rolling all around the bin, so I wanted to try and separate them out a bit, and the plan didn't really work as well as I thought, but hey, at least I tried. I did also purchase one more of these little drawer organizers that I had gotten. I have one just a level above it, but there are a lot of small items and I wanted to use it specifically to organize some of the Band-Aids we have, but I also decided to put the smaller bath items we have, like bath crayons and these little light up bath toys, in the drawer organizer as well, just to contain the small things so they're visible, they don't get lost, and again, a better way to organize those Band-Aids. I also made some labels with my Cricut here. They're very small, but they fit perfectly on there, and I just used that transfer tape again and peeled it off so it matched the other organizer I had above it. Now into Owen's closet, I am taking off some labels that were stuck on the lids of these bamboo organizers. I guess the organizers themselves are plastic, but they have bamboo lids, and these are a dupe for the Container Store bins that I had in white that we were just looking at when we were in the laundry room. Target came out with ones with bamboo lids, and I really love the look of those bins, and they are cheaper at Target, so I thought, hey, let's do the cheaper version, see how they go. And quality wise, I think they're very comparable, but the problem is that the labels would not peel off, and I didn't take the time to get out a little scraper and Goo Gone and do it properly, so I'm doing that now. And then the bins that I have at the bottom of the closet here, I never labeled them. I don't really need to label them, but decided that I am going to just label them because every other bin in this closet is labeled, and that way, you know, I know what's in there, Jim knows what's in there. Not that Owen can read yet, but it's always just better to have a uniform look and to label things so we're not confused what goes where and what is where. We are just rotating through the rooms now as we move through the house. The next room after the boys' bathroom is Henry's room, and this is not necessarily a spot that I didn't finish the organizing project, but it just keeps changing because he keeps growing, and every time he grows out of a size, I'm pulling his clothing out and bringing in all of Owen's hand-me-down clothing into his dresser. And so all of the drawers in the dresser, with the exception of one, have spring-loaded dividers, and I file fold everything and organize them with the spring-loaded dividers, but the bottom left drawer does not, or doesn't have any sort of organizer. I guess the top right one just has other organizers, not the spring-loaded ones. But I dumped all of his next size of clothing in that bottom drawer and didn't organize it at all, didn't fold it at all. I don't even know what we have in that size. So I'm going to take the time to go through and fold everything, and I will still file fold it. There's going to be no dividers or organizers in there, but then when it comes time to move it up higher, I can easily organize it that way because it's already been folded, it's already been categorized. And as we get closer to that size, I know exactly what we have. So if I'm thinking of maybe buying a new article of clothing for him, I can easily look and say, okay, I have this many sets of short sleeve outfits. He definitely doesn't need another one. Or it would be nice to have one more pair of pajamas or something like that. But more often than not, we don't need more clothing because our boys are exactly 2 years apart. They're both December babies and both boys. So the hand-me-downs from Owen work really well. And I'm finding that the hand-me-downs, especially from the baby stage, are in pretty good condition just because babies grow so quickly and don't wear clothing as long, so there's not as much wear and tear. And then once solids are introduced, there's an opportunity for more stains. And then at Owen's age now, going to daycare, these stains are just absolutely crazy, and I feel like he's just blowing through some of his clothing because some of those stains are mystery stains and will not come out. Trust me, I have tried everything. I have even brought some articles of clothing back to my mom, who is the stain expert, and she hasn't been able to get some of them out. So I think it's inevitable that not everything makes it down as a hand-me-down, but a lot of it sure does. Finally, we have everything folded, and that took kind of a while. That was more time consuming than I thought, but it's good to just get that out of the way. And then I'm organizing it, like I said, in categories. So I have all of the pajamas, all of the short sleeve items together. Then I'm going to load in onesies, and then we have longer sleeved items and sets. And then finally, I had a couple of swimsuits and other little things there. We are back in the laundry room because I keep extra organizing supplies in here. I have extra bin clips that are for labeling, and I'm grabbing a couple of them because we're going to head into the guest room next. That's the next room on the rotation, and I wanted to organize the backup sheets and bins that we have in the closet there and add some labels, which I talk about labels a lot, and I think sometimes it's for aesthetics, but other times when there are other members of your family, or in this instance, guests that don't know where things are, you want to make things as easy as you can for them so they don't have to ask, hey, I'm kind of cold, like, do you have an extra blanket? They can easily see when they open the closet that bin is labeled and has the word blankets on it, and they can feel free to grab an extra blanket for themselves. I also had a bunch of stuff on the shelf in the guest room closet here. You can see that we have very large tubs. I use those tubs to keep my maternity clothing. So now that I'm no longer pregnant, I need to have all of that maternity clothing put away. And I also have some tubs for baby clothing as well. So as Henry grows out of stuff, I will load it up in those tubs and put them at the top of the guest room closet. Last up, we're going into my bedroom, and I am going to make an extra label for our laundry closet. Yes, we keep our laundry, our dirty laundry, in this big unit in our bedroom. And I had one bin that I didn't have a label for, so I'm going to make a dry cleaning label, and then you can see the rest of them all match. That's all I have time for in today's video. We only touched the top floor. I still have to finish the rest of the house. Henry is awake, so that's why we have to be done. But if you are interested in a part 2 of this video, if you enjoyed, make sure to let me know in the comments below, because like I said, I have more to do and would love to finish all of these projects, get everything to 100% because it feels so good. But until next time, I will see you all later.